the Harrisburg Storm are going to stand in their way. And my goodness, Sanders, they come out of this tournament roaring.
Yeah, well, their 20% shot buff that they had yesterday during the rain is no longer. It's nice and sunny outside here at Myrtle Beach. A beautiful day for some Rocket League to get on with some of these incredible matches. Of course, we're starting to see some smiles here from Harrisburg as they're getting prepped for this match. Awesome stuff. Excited to be here. Excited. Look at all the folks here you can see in their player cams. We are in the amazing hangout here down in Myrtle Beach, an amazing restaurant that they've been so gracious in hosting us and invading pretty much the middle of their restaurant for a Rocket League event.
I mean, how often are you going to play Rocket League in the middle of a venue as cool as this one? I mean, even standing up here on the stage, looking down at these players who are preparing to play one of the biggest matches that they're going to have all semester. Arguably, $5,000 are on the line for this tournament, and one of these teams potentially won't be getting it. The winner of it, however, will be guaranteed $1,500, potentially $3,000 if they make it all the way to that first place.
100%. This is going to be a pretty interesting match, to say the least. The first time these teams have faced off in this tournament so far, of course, across the aisle in their respective groups. So to see them finally taking on one another, an exciting feeling I'm getting, to say the least.
I mean, absolutely. Even talking to all of these players prior to the tournament even began. I mean, this is the matchup that they wanted to have. They know that Harrisburg Storm, Maryville Saints have been at the top of the Collegiate Rocket League for the entire 2023-24 school year. And now this is the place where they're going to meet. And that title for the throne will soon be settled.
Well, let's find out as the semifinals are beginning. Match number 1, Maryville versus the Harrisburg Storm. This is going to be a good one.
Absolutely. I mean, these top 4 teams, some of the best that you're going to find not only in collegiate, but some of North America as well. The talent here not to be understated. These opponents not to be taken lightly. And while Maryville, Harrisburg Storm, they haven't met once with the current rosters that they had. They're going to kick it off here for the boost on the beach, number 4 and number 1.
And here we go. Already a little bit of aggression on the side of Harrisburg, as now going to be looking to push back the other way. Ticarel and company looking to remain undefeated here, as they no longer have that comfort blanket of groups. And it doesn't matter if you've remained undefeated thus far. A loss will eliminate you from contention for that first place. And next, already on the board here for Harrisburg.
And next is that player. I mean, look at that dribble. Might have been off a player of Maryville, but they were so far ahead. Next, a German player coming into the Harrisburg roster as a well-known freestyler. Their ability to control the ball is exceptional, and you need to be careful where they're playing. What on Ticarel coming down from the top rope to spike it out of the net.
Just in time. Now we've got Adam going the other way. Knight gonna put this one into the corner. Buddy gonna follow it up, but easily handled by Ticarel. And now going the other way, Buddy gonna take out next as well. And Ticarel up 2-0 for Harrisburg.
Harrisburg had a secret 4th player come in for that exact goal. It was off of Adam. Ticarel was there to meet it. Adam never saw it coming, and that is a brutal start. Harrisburg up 2-0, and we're not even a minute in.
Wow, what a way to start off the semifinals. Now Ticarel also going to be demoing down Knight. An opportunity for Buddy to strike back. Handled by Nex. Now going back to midfield. Nex going to have to roll this one back to the back wall. See if he can do a little bit with the aerial and the boost available. Riding it all the way nearly, but Nex at the last moment. But Adam to follow it up, and Maryville's on the board.
Knight and Adam, the young superstars joining Maryville's roster this semester, have been popping off throughout the weekend, and they played together for 3+ years. It's plays like this that show you how dangerous this synergy is.
You were wondering, or at least I was wondering, if Harrisburg was going to keep running it up without a response from Maryville, but our question has been answered. Maryville striking back to keep it within 1 early in game number 1. That is what you expect out of a championship-style team such as Maryville, the number 4 seed here in the single elimination bracket.
Maryville now got the one on the board. And Harrisburg now in control of the current positioning. T. Carell has been the leader in assists for the team this weekend. Buddy knows it. Attempts for the interrupt. Next up, walking down the midfield line of the net is wide open. That's a dead bolt center. And that's an extended lead. 2 more for Harrisburg.
Wow, stolen away by Next there, and right down to Polar. The teamwork involved to steal that one away. Now with a 2-goal lead back in the driver's seat for Harrisburg. And we'll see just what Maryville is thinking to cook up here in response.
Maryville, Adam and Knight are looking to find each other on the field, yet Harrisburg has been seemingly 1 step ahead, and it's not a huge noticeable difference smacking you in the face, but it's enough for Harrisburg to be at an advantage, especially when it comes to this possession and how much time the ball has spent in the blue half of the field. Now, Buddy, opportunity, newest player to this roster, denied at the goal line. Adam there, the rotations from Maryville coming into place, yet the tax, not quite.
Yeah, and I fully expect one of the wild cards that we weren't really sure who was going to be taking some of these big steals and making big plays next. The freestyle, as you mentioned before, moving over into threes competition, didn't know how he's going to fit onto the Harrisburg team. Clearly one to set these teammates up with some special maneuvers. And it's showing so far here in the semifinals. Now T. Carell, Buddy, a shot off to the right side, but wow, deflected quite rapidly to the far end of the field. Now T. Carell with an opportunity, but Knight going to be able to handle that one just fine. A bump by Next will interrupt the Maryville transition.
This game has been keeping his high-paced action, yet the scoreboard remains stagnant. Harrisburg looking for their next setup within the corner, yet Knight trying to find the clear, looking for Buddy, back up to the freshman superstar. It's not going to quite get the connection that Maryville were hoping for. And Harrisburg, they're back on the run. The transition is so quick, yet Maryville will manage to get back in time. Demolition onto Next, certifies the end.
If you're Harrisburg, you're happy to keep the scoreline exactly where it is with a 2-goal buffer, 1 minute and 23 seconds left on the clock. Obviously, if you're Harrisburg, you want to keep attacking. That keeps the ball out of Maryville's hands, or Hoods, I guess, making it so they can't attack. But here's an opportunity, swatted away at the last moment by Adam. Adam, the defensive specialist here, passing the ball all the way to Knight to the far end. T. Carell going to have to make a play on this one. Helped out a little bit by the team, but a little bit of life from Maryville with just 60 left.
Harrisburg stuffed up in their defensive end. Minimal boost to work with right now. They need some sort of clear, and Knight isn't going to let it happen. With the amount of time on the clock, Maryville, if they're going to come alive, it is now or never. Knight playing off the corner, trying to find Adam once again. And it's Buddy. Polar shoves it right off the hood of his car. And here we are once again, Harrisburg on the offensive. And they don't even need to put it in. All they need to do is prevent the Saints from getting another point on the clock.
That's right, time of possession, everything here. Harrisburg having a little bit, probably the edge in that department. But Adam, with 18 seconds left, brings it within 1. Maryville is not done yet. They're saying this storybook is not done being written here in game number 1. We're still in the conversation, and they're going to have to get the job done quickly, get a quick goal, potentially something off the kickoff if they want to bring this one to overtime.
Maryville got to work fast. One Adam gave them. Yes, it is enough to keep their hopes alive, but the dream is still yet to come true. Carry from Knight around the field. It's going to get over one. Polar, though, grabs the stop off. Harrisburg doing their best to kill it down to the ground. Once this ball touches, it is as good as done. Adam maintaining that control, though. Polar intercepts, and that is where game number 1 shall end with a Harrisburg Storm victory.
Wow, what a performance from Harrisburg early. They were able, you started to see the spark from Maryville late in that match, but Harrisburg accrued enough of a lead to be able to sustain and move on into the victory, going up 1-0 in this series. A really nice job from them to really set the tone for this match.
And this is not a win that Harrisburg should be walking away with comfortably, particularly
no.
with how Maryville ended this series. I mean, you need to be afraid of the potential that this team has. They got a slow start in their previous game yesterday and managed to pull some insane comebacks, and especially with their synergy, the time that they played together, while it's been short, there's still some of the most talented players that you're going to find within the scene. I want to shout out Buddy, most notably dominated the CRL scene, winning Worlds for the past 3 years in a row before joining Maryville just this winter. So you're brand new, leading 2 freshmen in both Knight and Adam and bringing them together in this competition.
Oh, you take a look at Buddy's Wikipedia. It is more
It's all
firsts
wins.
than anything else.
There's one thing that's not first on there. One. That's it.
Wow. So a winner at heart, a proven victor here in the Rocket League field. We'll see if they can overcome this Harrisburg onslaught that has happened early to take them the 1-0 lead over Maryville. How do they respond here in game number 2? Can Maryville respond in kind and tie this one up, or will Harrisburg force them to put them in the situation for a needed reverse sweep?
I mean, if they keep letting Polar get control like that, Maryville in big trouble. Adam off to the corner. Knight want to try to get to Buddy, but he's a little bit far behind. Ball stalling out in Harrisburg's half. T-Corral taking the control, goes over 1, it goes over 2, and it's straight into the Saints' nets.
That's absolutely insane. Let's take another look at how this happened. Adam and Knight in position, but the beautiful lob into the bump of Adam to take out the defense. What an insane solo play.
And that is something you do not see often. There's a reason you pass the ball in the game. It's to prevent you from flying head on. The fact that T-Corral is able to get from 2 Maryville Saints players is absolutely ridiculous. Harrisburg once again starting their series in the lead. Buddy almost made it an even game. Hit the demo on the goal line was not enough. T-Corral still got the tap before he blew up.
There has been 5 demos since we kicked off.
Yeah.
They are playing so aggressive, so physical, and it's been both ways. They're trying to disrupt the tempo, the momentum of either squad so far in Harrisburg. But Knight, look out! There we go! And we're going to take another look at this replay. Molly, take us through it.
Knight, look at this. You had the tap off towards the goal line. Next wanted to get there. Polar was a little bit too shy. Whether the bump came in or not, it did not matter. Harrisburg were out of position, and the shot from midfield, it was a far one they weren't prepared for.
Wow. Now, Maryville starting to warm up here to the idea of beating Harrisburg at their own game. A lot of that physical gameplay probably set a spark in them, saying, all right, if they want to play physical, we're going to play physical too. And an opportunity for them to strike back, granted, in a 1-1 scoreline. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in regulation. And we're already down on the Harrisburg side once again as Maryville continues to fight.
Maryville evened out the game. They can manage to take the lead. I mean, Knights, it was a nice flip on over. It doesn't quite get the momentum on that reset, and now Polar, a dangerous tap down to Maryville's half. They thankfully had a player on rotation, able to recover, and they're going to try to keep this tag alive. Notice how fast all of these players are moving on the field. This is why it's getting so chaotic, Xander.
This is insane. Adam, a double tap off the ceiling, down to Buddy, trying to get that one to go. But now Knight to the side. Polar gonna push this one to the crossbar and try and get it away. A little bit of help needed, but another center. Knight not there quite in time. A little bit too quick of a pass. T-Corral saying, all right, it's time to send this one the other way. We're tired of playing a little bit of defense. Let's play a little bit of offense. A nice steal here at midfield. A nice 50-50 with potential. Now Polar, a little bit of running into each other there. It's going to send this one into the hands of Buddy and out of danger for Maryville.
Demolitions have really slowed down in this half of the game, but that's not a problem for Harrisburg at all. Look at the speed at which they followed up one after another. It was Polar to next, off the side, back to Polar, and neither Adam or Buddy were able to get a touch.
I was just saying they were out of trouble, and all of a sudden Harrisburg does that.
That's cast curse, Xander. Gotta stop doing that. We're teams.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Not call the game? Here we go. Adam once again meeting midfield with a member of Harrisburg and is spending a lot of time in the air. The boost control has been great for both teams. And now a demo down to Adam, maybe giving Harrisburg a little bit of freedom to continue their attack. T. Carell gonna steal this one away, forcing Knight back to deal with it. Going up is Nex, the freestyler, pass to Polar. A really nice ball to the right in front of the goal, but dealt with swiftly by the Maryville defense.
And just like that, is turned right back around. Buddy is looking for the tap in the center. Adam is waiting. Knight is a little bit too high for him to control. Adam deciding if he wants to commit, opted to stay towards the midfield, which turned out to be the better decision in this scenario. Polar now. Harrisburg attempting to regain that control, and Maryville, I mean, they're doing their best to keep it away, and that's kind of the big thing. Maryville slapped in possession in the back half of their previous game one, ended up going down. Now, laying down an extra point, just over a minute still to go. We need to find that light once again.
Maryville, 1 minute remaining on the clock. Down a single goal, an easily a deficit that can be easily taken care of by a swift strike, but not with Nex on the field. Stealing this one away, a little bit awkward off of that 50-50, but got through no less. Now Polar off the sidewall, a really good center. Ooh. Does he have help? The bounce off the bottom went a little bit too high for T. Carell to deal with and get a good shot on goal. But the onslaught continues. Next. Now Adam the other way.
Here's things, Xander. This doesn't matter. All the Harrisburg are trying to do, keep the ball away from Maryville. And now that the Saints have a handle on the game, this is where things get dangerous. Harrisburg, they're better off taking the longer tap next. Looking for the net. We'll go a little bit off to the side. The Storm playing essentially a game of keep away in these final few seconds of game number 2. It's T. Carell over the top. Knight's interception mid-air. Maryville managed to get a recovery. They'll have one last opportunity to find that net, to get that goal that they need to push them over to that overtime period. Adam looking for the center, but no! Buddy cannot get there. That is Harrisburg coming up with 2-0 and a match point.
I swore that was going to just stay up forever and Maryville was going to find a way to get back in this game. That was so close for Maryville. Wow, Harrisburg getting the job done in game number 2 as well, but still not a comfortable margin of victory.
No. And despite what the score tells us right now, that is not what the story of the game is sharing. Harrisburg are having to fight tooth and nail for the points that they managed to find, and Maryville have just been getting stuffed up on that defense. The big difference that I'm seeing is Harrisburg with these longer carries, these bigger periods of control, allowing each other to set up before going for these more centered plays. That's where we've seen major points start to come in, but you have to wonder, where is Maryville? Can they close out a game? A team we anticipated to be in the finals is now on the brink of elimination.
That's right. They need 3 in a row against the Harrisburg Storm, a team that has found success time and time again at this tournament and outside of this tournament.
Yeah.
What a strong squad these players. The changing of rosters has really done them something special, and we're seeing it on the field right now. Harrisburg up 2-0, Maryville needing to start scrapping it together. You take it game by game. Maryville needing this next one.
A reverse sweep is what we need to see from the Maryville Saints to keep their hopes alive of getting a piece of the prize pool today. Buddy, it's his head over the top. Adam gets a complete and total miss, and it's things like that where you just gotta hit those, right? You're losing out on opportunities, and now you're forced to defend.
Opportunity for Maryville as Nex deep on his side, wins one 50-50 by another. Now Polar trying to get this defense going, but Buddy gonna disrupt that one, drop it almost in front of the net. But Polar back the other way. Oh, how quickly these teams can transition from defense to offense. Just as Polar was sending it the other way, we're going back with Maryville to attack on Harrisburg's side. Polar going up, some nice moves, but Knight just barely there in time. Next with another opportunity. Polar now in the corner, tried to face off 50-50 with Knight. Knight taking the edge there, and Maryville on the attack.
At least they were, Xander. They're gonna have to regain some control.
They're back.
Are they? Where's the ball? Going towards the Harrisburg Storm. That's next. Now looking for the play. Buddy, though, waiting in the corner, rather having the ball come to him instead. But here comes the big assister in T. Carell, has been playing into the hands of Polar and Next all weekend long. Maryville have certainly done their homework, making sure you can't get anywhere near it, and now attempts to put up their own plays where T. Carell is there to put up that brick wall.
To the middle, Adam trying to intercept. A little bit behind the ball at all times. It seems as though Harrisburg is controlling the pace of play so far in this game, though still 0-0, 2 minutes in. So Maryville obviously changing some things up and playing some solid defense here, though there hasn't really been that many goals to speak of in these matches so far at all. 5 total in game number 1, 3 total in game number 2. You might say the 3-2 was the highest scoring game we might even see from these teams.
Considering we're still at 0-0 halfway through the game, Xander, we may as well be. Each match that we have had, the margins are closer and closer. Harrisburg and Maryville are on even footing, yet it's been the Storm so far to close out their matches. Demolition on to Next. Polar might not have as much support as they initially thought, but they have the opportunity to use it. It's Adam mid-air. Maryville once again struggling to make it all the way through the field. Same goes for Harrisburg. Both these teams are playing so incredibly proactive and working together, not taking any chances, but Maryville are caught sleeping, and T. Carell bangs it in from midfield.
What a shot off the back wall from Polar, and the one tap from T. Carell right by the defense. Unbelievable stuff, and Harrisburg once again with a lead. 2 minutes left, plenty of time for Maryville to regain, but now once again playing from behind is this squad looking to avoid elimination here at Boost on the Beach.
Xander, every time that this has happened, Maryville have struggled to find an answer. While they can get a point on the board with how well Harrisburg has been playing on the defensive side, what makes you think they can do it again? I mean, even Adam, you saw him diving in from downtown. Yeah, just go ahead, stick Polar right away. But what about Knight? That's off the crossbar, down to the ground. Knight has fallen, and so has Harrisburg's lead.
Well, hello, Knight. Welcome to game number 3. 1-1, Maryville, 2 goals late into game 3. They waited quite a while to give us some fireworks, and fireworks we finally have now. Tied up, who will take the lead moving forward into the 90 seconds we have left?
Knight is the player on Maryville that if he comes alive, your opponent is in trouble. He has the ability to take over entire series, and that goal right there is just the thing that the Saints needed to turn their story around and get themselves back on track. Knight can't do it by himself. Polar, the carry, over the top. It's looking for T. Carell, yet it's Adam. All 3 players of the Saints getting their hands in and ensuring Harrisburg cannot get another goal on the board. 60 seconds remaining, and we're still at an even point.
So far, it feels like Maryville has been matching Harrisburg for the most part, with Harrisburg edging them out with just a single goal, right? Now Maryville needs to take the opportunity to not only match, but better Harrisburg here. Otherwise, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. T. Carell with an opportunity, going to be spiked down by Knight. A 50-50 you don't like to take right in front of your net, but it works out this time. And now continuing the attack is Harrisburg, going to steal this one away. The freestyle specialist here going to be floating that one around at midfield. Now Adam with a nice touch off the wall. A good pass to Knight. Gets this one to the corner. Is he able to get the pass down to Buddy? Buddy going to bump away the defense. A nice slow roll. Might have done the trick, but wasn't able to put enough heat on it. Adam back here, 7 seconds left. We might be looking at overtime, folks, if Knight isn't able to put this one into a good spot. But he does. A long ball. Buddy's got to get back in time. Gets the touch. We're spiking down. We're going to overtime, game 3.
And as we should be, the closest these 2 teams have been so far. It would be a shame for Harrisburg to only take this with a 3-0. Maryville flat fights, but Harrisburg have had enough. That's Polar putting it into the back, and they have booked their ticket to the grand finals.
Wow. 7 seconds into overtime. Harrisburg wasted no seconds whatsoever, putting the nail in the coffin. As you said, they'll be moving on to the grand finals. Maryville will try to acquire some of that prize pool in the third place match. And we'll find out who exactly either team is going to be facing here moving forward in our second semifinal match. What a matchup. I never would have guessed a 3-0 either way. I predicted game 5s across the board for the rest of the day. And to end this with 3-0 is just mind-blowing.
You and everybody else who has been following Collegiate Rocket League as of late, the fact that Harrisburg were able to take this 3-0 is absolutely ridiculous, but it doesn't tell the story of the game. Once again, each of these came down to the wire. Maryville was there to play, but struggled to find that edge, a way to close. Harrisburg had that extra spark, and it was enough to light the flame to guide them towards this grand finals. They're remaining as one of our undefeated teams, making a near perfect run to the grand finals. Now we're going to have to see who's going to meet them there.